Hey guys, this is Mean Mugging in Games, and we're going to do a quick deck tech on Dory. So we got Kyle here, and he's going to go over his Dorinthea Ironsong. He got in second place in RtN at Gulf Coast Hobby. Just got beat by Joshua Lau from TCG, from the TCG, what the card guys. They don't want TCG in their name. The card guys. Great match, but he's going to walk us through his deck. So we got it in front of us. I see you got a great description on this deck, so you really went to town on it. But we're going to go ahead and look at what we got running on it. Let's talk equipment first. I'm assuming all your Null Rune is that's your Kano matchup.
Null Rune is Kano and Icelander. I don't run Null Rune into literally anything else. I run Null Rune 1 into Viscerai, but that's it.
Mm-hmm. When you're running your Null Rune, what do you replace?
Hood. Getting rid of the crown. Basically, the block value, Refraction Bolters you can't get rid of no matter what. And the block value is just better on Brave Forge Bracers. Mm-hmm. So otherwise you would get rid of the gloves, but we do the head because a 2 battle worn is just too good to get rid of for physical. So, and then Crown of Providence was a last second switch. I was on Skullcap like a lot of people. But I played it literally one game with it. And in that game, I blocked with Crown of Providence the turn after I used Nourishing Emptiness. So I had a 6-card hand, like a true 6-card hand, and felt great. It felt so good. And then filtering is always just better, right? Get to your attack reacts that you need. If you're missing, go again. Blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. So Crown of Providence pulled through in the end.
I'm a big fan of Crown of Providence. I don't know why you would run Skullcap over Crown of Providence. I get you do, but I don't think you do. I don't think there's a real
3 health is like technically better, I guess, but often with Dory, if a lot of people don't like to block right now, which means you get counters, which means you're going to be ahead in health, which means you're never going to get that extra block. So yeah, Crown of Providence is objectively better in my opinion.
Yep. So I see some cards in here. We got Command and Conquer, Erase Face. Are those our sideboard cards?
Yeah. The Command and Conquer, the Erase Face, the That All You Gots, the Energy Potions, and the Remembrance is all sideboard. And then like kind of the red shunts.
Kind of the red shunts.
Kind of the red shunts. Yeah, shunts, I mean, they're good against certain things, and I'm terrified of losing the mirror, because that's why I got 9th at my previous Road to Nats. So threw those in there for your Oldhams and your Dories and your Bravos and whatnot.
Gotcha. So like Oasis is in there. We got Remembrance, Erase Face, all that. For instance, Oasis. What's the matchups you're looking to use that in?
I didn't use Erase a single time. I thought about it for Lexi and for Icelander. Or people were telling me Briar as well, but I wasn't buying on that. And I had it to fill it out, but I ended up never using it a single time, and I played both Icelander and Ice Lexi in both of my Road to Nationals.
So Erase Face to me looks like a great, hey, we're gonna pop some dragons.
That too, but Dory, I don't want to say auto wins, because there's not really like a true auto win, but you just farm counters off dragons on your Dawnblade, and then swing for 12, like pay 1, swing 12. So yeah, it's good into Dramai, but I wouldn't even run it there, I don't think. Just stay consistent with it. Stay consistent. You never want to not be swinging with Dawnblade if you can help it.
Yep. So I'm noticing in here a couple things that do stick out to me is we're running 2 routes. Most people only run 1. I know that seems silly, like, to call that out, but like, I don't know. That's a card that could be somewhere else.
That card's scary.
It is.
Like, no one disagrees with this. Route is scary.
Yes.
And everyone is running 1 route. So they never expect the second one. And that's literally why I put it in. I love that card. It's actually my favorite card in the entire game. And, you know, if you have to block with 1 or something at a weird time, they're like, okay, I'm safe from it. It's like, no, you're not. So the second route was great. The Red Overpower was not great. And then you mentioned earlier, so I'm just going to go back to it real quick. Oasis Respite it's like that hot sauce. I put that in everything. It's such a good card.
So you
especially
just mainboard that one?
Yeah, I do. It was 3 ovens every single deck, no matter what. It was good for Josh Lau's combo Bolton turns. It was good for his Beacon of Victory turns. It was good against Icelander. It was good from Arsenal against Fi when she got a 3 of Phoenix Flame off. It was good in Briar for big attacks. Like just literally everything. There was not a time when I didn't want it.
And do you look to do that? Because I mean, it costs 1. So are you looking to do kind of like an Oasis Respite into like a Steel Blade Shunt or something like that? Or are you just gonna? Yeah,
it's literally exactly that. Dory, I think, is the best deck in the game at playing with half card hands.
Absolutely.
If you cut down to 2 against, if both of you are playing with 2 card hands, Dory's gonna win all the time.
Absolutely.
So I didn't really worry about it. If I could leave it there, leave it in Arsenal or something, wait for a shunt, and then pitch 1, get rid of the Oasis from hand, and or the shunt from hand and the Oasis from Arsenal. It felt really strong, prevented a lot of damage. On top of Dory's phenomenal armor, kept my health total pretty high.
I was gonna say, I don't know that you're really gonna be behind ever in Oasis Respite to gain that health, but the times that you are, it's nice, and it's just a 4 block. I mean, you're blocking 4.
So I do run.
And you're blocking Arcane.
I do run more defensive. I look for bigger turns when I'm playing Dorinthea. It's why I'm still on Ironsong Determination when a lot of really good Dory players are off of it. So I run the shunts, I run the Oasis, setting up for these Determination glistening turns to try and make Dawnblade too explosive. Like it immediately gets tempo back because they're gonna hit you one more time. You have 3 counters on Dawnblade and you've just done 10 damage or whatever. They're not gonna.
Yep.
You're like, well, I'm fine. You're not. You're gonna die. So I'm fine going a little more defensive, but also like letting my health kind of take pings to set things up.
Yep. So obviously we got some new cards in this list. So we got Glistening Steelblade. I mean, who's not going to run that at this point?
You didn't have to talk about that one, but I will.
One of the things that stuck out to me in Joshua Lau's video, his last interview, we actually just released that interview today, so it'll probably be 2 days ago whenever this goes up. So one of the things he said was he never let Glistening Steelblade hit. He was like, every time I played Dorinthea, I did not let it hit. I don't care what I had in my hand, it was not hitting.
Yeah, he didn't, not once.
Not once.
I played it, I think I ran the Remembrance into him because I thought against combo Bolton, if I could survive, sorry if you can hear that outside my window. Against combo Bolton, I figured if I can just cycle some stuff back in and survive his Lumina turns, assuming he didn't get a triple Lumina turn off, that I could fatigue him.
And then that was 7 cards away from that. You were like 2 turns away from that.
I was 7 cards away from it, and I could have easily blocked his kill turn on the last one, but I was just exhausted. Like, I did not care at that point. Like, I'm being dead serious. Icelander was sitting right there staring at me, but like, I was like, whatever. Yeah, if he had to be dead, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, no, you would have had to like a lot block, and then, but he had so much soul, so he could just kind of decide what it was.
But he absolutely did not let any glistenings through for me, and then the other guy said the same. The other Dory player that I played in top 4 said the same thing. Like, no chance was he letting any of that through. And that card's scary. If you're playing at your armories or whatever skirmishes, do not block the Glistening Steelblade. Your tempo doesn't matter. You'll find it back. Just don't go through.
And then I also see Blade Flash, target sword attack gains go again.
Yep. And Run Through is the other new one.
Yeah, and Run Through is the other new one. So Blade Flash makes sense to me, right? It's a 1, give it go again. It costs 1, give it go again, but it's a blue, so it's great. You're happy to pitch that away, have it for later. Talk to me about Go Through. I mean, target attack action gains go again, and then it's basically like
Blade Runner.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say it's basically Blade Runner, but for swords in general, not just one-handed.
So I'm a Kasai player more than I am a Dory player. I am waiting for the day that we get a Draconic Kasai, or adult Kasai in some nature. So that card was a natural inclusion for me. It seems, I mean, it's free go again. You can attack with a Naked Dawnblade. Naked Dawnblade was never scary in the past. Now Naked Dawnblade is terrifying, right? You have to play around run-throughs. You have to play around blade flashes. You've always had to play around Glint the Quicksilver, but that was a lot easier to calculate in the past. Now you have 9 instances of go again.
It's a lot of instances of go again. Like, just you don't have to hit. Like, you have go again. It's gonna hit. And then you can just do whatever you need to do.
The other thing is Blade Flash was literally useless all day though. I did not play it a single time. I did not play it a single time.
Block.
And I did not block with it a single time because it only blocks for 2.
It was the one card, 2 block.
It was the one card I held to pitch no matter what. And I wanted it to do better than it did, but it just didn't show up on the day.
Yeah, so is that going to be one that you're going to be eyeballing to maybe come?
No, it's blue. It's blue and gives go again. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, it's done.
After that, nothing happened, but it's blue and gives go again. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, with Dory, it's a matter of like all of your blue pitches. It's just like I'm pitching them most of the time, but it needs to have a good enough of effect where I'm going to play it in a pinch.
Yep. I tried, was it Push Forward? Mm-hmm. The one that gives +1 and Dominate on the second.
It's Push Forward.
I tried that instead of... I tried cutting some 1-ofs to like sneak 2 of those in there. I tried cutting like a Shunt and an Overpower, and that was dumb. Shunts and Overpower is just better. I could never get that off. Breaking the combat chain was super weird. There's a lot of Guardians in my meta, so like Oldhim got to block with the shield again, so it didn't feel good.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's not a card you play against Oldhim.
The performers on the day were Ironsong Determination. All Dory people that are cutting that, put them back. They're amazing. And Blue Overpower in the late game was really good for me this weekend.
And with Blue Overpower, are you going to actually play that out, or is that because I mean, a lot of your games, at least the ones I saw, I mean, the good amount of them went pretty late. You still had a lot of deck left, but like your opponents didn't necessarily have a lot of deck left.
This is meant to be a little more defensive than other Dories. But yeah, just take it slow. Take it slow, and then the Blue Overpowers, it's free damage. Free real estate, why not? I mean, it's not cost 3, but you know what I mean, details. That all you got decided as well. I think Phi is a pretty favored matchup into Dory. Dory's favorite into Phi, rather. But that all you got. It's like salting their wounds after they salt yours, you know?
That all you got is a tremendous. I love that.
If you happen to have it, you can block out the full combo turn as like literally with everything in your hand and still keep your counters on Dawnblade by pitching the card that you drew. You could kind of do that anyway by breaking Courage, it hits, breaking Retraction Bolter, swing again, get another counter. But more cards is good.
And I wish that's why you're running Courage over like Tunic, because you're looking for the more defensive ones, and you'll just break it when you need to.
And I'm not scared to block with my second armor on Tunic. I mean, on a Blade Hold Courage. Like, send. I don't care. Like, my life total is all that matters.
Last comments you want to say about just the deck that you felt like stood out to you that overperformed or underperformed? There was a couple that we mentioned underperformed. Just some ending comments on that.
Nourishing Emptiness is a really strong card. That, except against, I guess still against Prism, but that card's fantastic, especially when you draw all 5 cards. I was gonna say, if
you don't draw all 5 cards. So, funny story. I put that into the Judge Hub on Discord, and they literally only talked about that the whole day. Thankfully, it did come out that everyone agrees that I did make the correct course of action. So I was like, okay, that feels pretty good. Because as we both know, that was a bit weird. But yeah,
this guy was, for everyone not in the know, this guy was the judge for the event, and I did not draw off of my Nourishing. So here, this is what I want to talk about. Top eight, I played against a guy named Luke Harris. He's Elaine Hammondtree's boyfriend. Great guy, really good player.
Very good.
When Amber, my girlfriend, she was there playing Phi, and I came in, we knew if we were to get knocked out in top 8, it was going to be by him or his friend Andrew Pragine. Like, they're just good players. And they were on Kano and Briar, which can just do things. Like, regardless of what you're playing, they can just do things. And that game was tight. It was very, very close. And I mean, some good things happened. He had to block with CMH to stop counters. Love that. He overblocked for an attack reaction. But I pitched wrong. And by that pitched wrong, I mean, like, I just said, oh, this is a shunt, and a blue shunt, and I put it down in my pitch zone, and it was a red Ironsong response. Ooh, that sucks. It's a big deal. Both of us actively tried to punt that game away as many times as possible. I pitched wrong. I didn't draw up nourishing. He overblocked. He blocked with CMH. It was rough. And the hype from the beginning of the tournament, I knew that was the game I had to win, kind of a thing. Not just because it was top 8, because it was against him. We're both from Louisiana. It's like a rivalry kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
a good wrestling rivalry right there, right?
Yep. It's all love. It's all love for sure. And Andrew, the other player, did knock out my girlfriend in top 8, so that was 1-1 for the rivalry. But that was the tightest game that we had. Excuse me, that was my tightest game of the tournament by a lot.
Mm-hmm. That was a tough game. Yeah. So just to kind of like set the tone, you nourished. Then he got 2 cards. He tomed and into Ravenous Rebel. And at that point, you're like, oh, wait, I didn't draw my card. I
didn't block the Rabble or anything like that. I just had the 4 cards in my hand still.
Yeah. So the ruling that I ended up going with was that, hey, everybody gets a warning, nothing happens, we're going to continue playing. So thank you for taking the time today. And that was just such a great event. I appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate it. One thing, feel free to hit me up, anybody on Twitter at the Mortimer, or on Discord if you have any questions about Dory or just playing in general. I like to talk about Flesh and Blood.
Yep.
So,
and with your permission, we'll put those all down in the description, so everybody can reach out to you. We want you to have your handle out there for sure. All right. Have a good day, everyone.